there's a lot of dispute surrounding this because many people believe it's complete bogus, it's fake.
You want this to be so fake, don't you?
First place I feel it is right at the back of the stick, right where it meets the meat between the thumb and the forefinger.
Right there, they cross over.
Yup. It finds gold. When I first moved into my house, I needed someone to show me where the septic was. I was just curious. I didn't want to dig into it. And the guy that inspected my septic tank said he could
Locate the septic lines for me for $25. I thought, okay, he must walk around with a machine or something, and that was not what he did. He walked around with a pair of these little rods.
They were something like this. You can see these. There was nothing special about them.
And so he basically showed me where all the septic lines were on the leach field. And I asked him, how does that work? That doesn't even seem real. He just walked out and showed me the whole septic field with this.
To make it even more interesting, I found out that you can do the same thing with a stick. And that just seems hard to believe. So I decided I would make this video for you guys. There's a lot of dispute surrounding this because many people believe it's complete bogus, it's fake. So first thing I want to do is I want to demonstrate to you guys what we can do with these two little rods right here. So I have a known pipe that comes out through here. So I'll just put these parallel to each other like that, and I'll walk, and they cross here. So I feel it's not very consistent trying to follow down a line with these rods. Maybe there's a different method I don't know about, but I'm trying to be sensitive to the way that they move because they kind of act like there's a light magnetic impulse and I just can't resist it. And then sometimes they just go off to the side, but they do consistently cross over each other when I go over a line. Let's do another location here. So right over here I have a couple lines here. I know one goes down to my security system over there, and then I have one that it's another security system component. So we'll just put these straight, and we'll walk, and look, there they go, they cross. This is where the dividing rod was showing me as well, the stick. So it was also showing me right here in the gravel, which I really thought it was in the dirt. This is exactly where the other device was showing me. Right there, they cross over. Crossing over, see?
It's about the same. Let's see what happens. We go over something we know. I got my septic tank out here. Give me a chance here. Let me see what happens. I sped this section of the video up because it really doesn't have any value. I didn't know how to hold the stick. I didn't locate the septic tank, which obviously is right underneath me there. And you can see there's some spots where it seems to incline down. It's kind of hard to see. It's not doing anything for me because I'm not holding it correctly.
I know about where my propane line is. I think I may have been near that. I also have some lines going through here, so I know where the lines are. We'll see if this stick does. You want this to be so fake, don't you?
I did the propane and I thought, okay, I hit 2 spots where the stick dropped, and I couldn't tell for sure if it was just me thinking this is where my propane is, but I have a spot where my line takes an L at the bottom of the driveway, and I don't remember where it turns. So we're gonna go to the bottom of the driveway and I'm gonna try to find that. All right, we're up. We're up. I feel a pull. That's hard to believe. Then it would be under the board. Let's try another spot. Yeah, it's showing under the board here. Okay. Maybe it's indicating the board. It wants to go down here. We should be able to. Okay. See, it's fighting me either way. Okay. Yeah, that's got to be it. Right there. Thought the gate was setting off the stick, so I opened the gate and I walked over my concrete bump that keeps the dogs in, and it didn't go down to the bump on the concrete, you know, the little piece of concrete that I poured there, but it did go down just a couple feet away from that, and I could have swore I was farther from that, but we got a couple other things I could play around with here. It responds very softly. There should be a pipe going from right here on this concrete down out into the driveway, and then that pipe cuts across my driveway there into the septic tank. We're gonna hold this here, see if we got a drop. It might be inclined. You have to put some pressure on the stick, and the pressure holds up the stick and then it kind of just begins to fall. The thing is, it's just so hard to believe, isn't it? See, how do I know I'm not just dropping it? But I'm on the line and it wants to drop it. It kind of goes into the web of my hand, so like where the stick is right here, and I'm pushing out on the stick. I don't know if you can see, but I'm doing that to the stick, but I want it to be up, and you can see it kind of, that's the stick dropping. So why is it dropping? So am I doing that? Let's see. So what I do is I kind of squeeze my thumb and my forefinger together a little bit, but not, so I'm forcing the thumb out, right? Because see, I can go up, down, but instead I'm going to go out, and I'm just going to try to keep my hands just like that, and I'm going to walk over, and I'm going to feel that pressure. Yeah, I feel a slight pressure. It's a very small amount. I guess you have to somehow find a way to eliminate the person's strength from the equation, because, you know, it's a very sensitive thing. I'll do one out here from the garage, because I know that pipe goes out where it goes through here, and then it's a right angle basically. We'll go from outside. We're up high. I'm relaxed. We're moving, and I'm just letting it fall. I want it to fall, you know? It's like I'm making it happen. It's kind of cheating, isn't it? I want it to fall. Did I not go as far that time? It wants to fall.
So right ahead of me is the septic tank. So I'm supposed to, at some point, it should stop dropping on me. See, it's still doing it. Shouldn't be doing it now. It should be, that should be the end. I want it to. Yeah, see, and the same thing happened in line with the line down there was the same thing. Nothing. So let's go this way now. I can feel it move. It begins to move. Yep. That's weird. It should be going straight to the cat. That's not straight to the cat. Well, it could be. That's straight to the cat.
Alright, so that pipe extends, I'll show it to you, but extends to, there you see it going down from there. So it goes from here under this wall. So I'm just going to try one in this spot where this table is here and just see. Yeah, it moves. Let's go here. The thing is with the stick, it's like, no, that can't be. But they say a fruit tree, but I think what they mean is a tree that has some moisture in it. So this is mulberry, and I don't think it has anything to do with the way it was cleaned up. I'm assuming you could just take anything and do the same task. There is another pipe.
Right there's the drain underneath right here. So let's see if it goes in the shop. Nothing. It's just a drain. Should be a big piece of pipe. No. So then it should be dropping right where this couch is. See, it's just me telling it. I don't believe it. Hold on. We got to do one from over here. So then it would be going straight to that pipe, which makes more sense. But let's see, it wants to drop here. It wants to drop here and go. It wants to do it more. Headaches. We'll do one more over just for Grinzies. So we'll do one after the stove here. That's probably about right. So that time was off. It kind of happened right beside the stove there. A slight pressure there, and then I don't know if you're supposed to step. See, that's better. In front of the stove was more accurate. So yeah, I agree with this actually, because I hit it from both directions, and I guess it has a tendency to, it hits late because you're way up high and you don't believe it, and so you take a step forward. I'm actually right over it. So right at the front end of the stove, and you can feel it, but it's weak. And then when I step forward, it usually goes down a little bit harder, which makes sense because, you know, I'm bouncing as I step, so it's shaking the rod a little bit and making it fall. And I'm trying to hold it as light as I can, again, which is kind of like cheating, because then if I feel like it's gonna fall, then I make it fall. If I hold it tightly, it won't fall. See? So you could just be a complete cheater unless you actually do it successfully, right? Because I could just hold the rod like this and walk through and nothing happens. See? Nothing. But if I want it to happen, right? So I'm allowing it. I'm opening wider on the stick too. So I'm doing that. So
The idea here is that you're opening wide on the stick to add friction on your skin. So that added friction that you have stops it from falling. But it's also not you squeezing the stick. If you're squeezing, see, if all you're doing is just touching the stick like this on the inside, you're barely supporting it. See, you could put it like up and down, but it still has that very slight draw that happens. And then over here, it doesn't have that. First place I feel it is right at the back of the stick, right where it meets the meat between the thumb and the forefinger. Unfortunately, my audio was not recording when I made this section of the video, but this is the grave where my cat is buried that died a couple of years ago, and these rods are actually crossing over right where the cat was buried. And then at a certain point in this, I'll actually stomp my foot and the rods go back to being straight. And the guy online said you stomp for you stomp for depth, and I just thought 1 foot, and I stomped and it went away, and that was how deep it was, is 1 foot. Right here you can see the stick is performing the same indication.
I think it's totally natural that now, in the age of science and reason that we claim to live in, people wouldn't believe in an old ancient technique that has been around for thousands of years and seems to be related to witchcraft or some sort of weird false conception about a religion or spirits. The idea that you would ask a question and that the device you're holding would answer you. Obviously, we question that, and there's huge controversy around this topic. All I know is it works. I don't know why, although I understand it was supposed to do something with magnetism. But then why would stomping my foot one time, which the cat's buried about 1 foot deep, why would that work? A strange thing. So you can use this to find septic fields if you're trying to dig. You can, if you're cutting a tree and you don't want to hit a septic line, you could put little flags and mark out all your septic lines. This technique consistently works. I recommend going with the metal rods over the stick. The stick requires a higher level of sensitivity. You have to really have finesse there with your hands and really know when that thing's trying to move. So I've really enjoyed this little journey. It's just been a couple days. I've just tried this a few different times. You guys should try it. You don't have to worry about where those septic lines are or where that electric wire is buried under the ground or all different sorts of things you wouldn't have to worry about. Ooh, I want to try one more. Some people say you can find gold, so we're going to try to find some gold that I already have, see if it works. We'll take away all but 1 ounce of gold, and we'll see, does it still work? It's weaker, it's a lot weaker. It's pointing. Yep. It finds gold. The important thing to remember is it tells you where a dead body is, it tells you where propane is, it tells you where water is, it tells you where gold is. So basically, it's just telling you there's something here. It doesn't tell you what. You have to dig it up and find it for yourself. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.